Good morning. I'm Carly Baker Betancourt. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a worship associate as well as a member of the Unitarian Universalist Area Church at First Parish in Sherburne. Welcome to this loving community. Come in bringing all of who you are. We gather in worship, our hearts alive with hope that here we will truly be seen. Turn down the volume on your fears, remove your masks, and loosen the armor around your heart. May we root ourselves in the values of this faith, acceptance and encouragement, compassion and transcendence, justice and transformation. We strive not for perfection, but for authenticity and connection. We come here to learn about being in relationship together, to listen, to forgive, to be vulnerable, to create trust, and have compassion for one another. We are gathered here to walk each other home, be here in this moment, let go, and breathe.
Hey friends, good morning. My name is Reverend Nathan. I'm privileged to be one of your ministers. My pronouns are he and him. Just a few things this morning. First, we're going to wave to all those who are watching from home this morning, probably many of us who are not as intrepid winter travelers as all of you, right? Just a few of the gentle reminders. There are some prayer cards over there. We're going to do a little bit something different today with prayers too, with some stones up front. But if you'd like me to share one of your prayers, please do that. It's over on my left. If you're new this morning, either online, there's a screen you can fill out so that we can welcome you officially. And there's blue cards in the pews. You can hold those up for anybody that's new, would like to get a best email in your life. Fill that out. Just a couple invitations. One is that next Saturday is our Voices of the Vulnerable Forum. Friends, what time does it start? 9:30. What time does it end? So you still got the rest of the day. Take a nap, do shopping, whatever else. And you can sign up via our website. You can sign up and talk to folks downstairs. I see Marianne. Marianne, stand up if you could, actually, so people can know. Talk to Marianne because she's organizing it all. If you'd like to learn more, it's next Saturday. It's going to be a great program. This is one way that we can live out our commitment. I've talked to us about commitments the last few Sundays to put our bodies where our beliefs are around this immigration issue. Which is pronounced and significant, isn't it, in our times? So anyway, that's one way to do that. It's just one among many. So that's happening. And then on this Tuesday, so I'm kind of going back in time, this Tuesday is the Free America Walkout. It's at 2 o'clock. So this is an invitation that's happening across many towns, indivisible Sherburne, that I'm a part of, and I know a few of us are. I know our president, Hank Roush, and we go into a few businesses and encouraging anybody who'd like to, at 2 o'clock this Tuesday, to walk out of whatever your space is. If you work outside the home, out of your space for like 10 minutes, and go to a sidewalk, go to a place, out front, and just to be there and think of and hold the people who are most vulnerable during this time. Hold them in our hearts and our minds and our prayers. So that's at 2 o'clock this Tuesday, which is the 20th of January. Okay? All right. We have our Sunday Spotlight. Oh, we get to welcome Dan Rodriguez, who's here on piano. Welcome, Dan. Sunday Spotlight, Dan. Wow. So Sunday Spotlight is a tradition we're engaging in this whole year. It's been super fun when we highlight one of our values as Unitarian Universalists. And today's value is generosity. And this is an easy way to share your love this week because love is at our center. And we are going this activity this afternoon, which is attend yoga with live drumming. It's a fundraising class that's happening here. Molly, do you want to raise your hand? And then you talk to Molly, who's all the way in the back, to hold your space. And it's this afternoon at 4:30. So instead of the Patriots game, you go to yoga drumming. And you can be done in time. You can still see the end. Right? So what's you can catch the beginning if you're a football person, and then you can catch the end. Voila. Friend, that's all that I have. Let's invite us to say good morning and welcome to a neighbor. I got chalices. Oh, sorry. Okay. How are they going to contact Molly after 3? That's right. I'll just say talk to Molly. Maybe cancel.
Here we have gathered side by side, circle of kinship, come and step inside. May all who seek here find a kindly word. May all who speak here feel they have been heard. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Please join me in the opening words by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny.
Can I edit one of announcement that I made? Is that okay? So Molly just told me that the snow, because they're not intrepid yoga travelers, may impact this afternoon. So if you think you want to go, I want you to talk to Molly, and she will make sure she gets you information. Molly, would you rise and embody your spirit? Yes, thank you. So that if you want to go, that you talk to Molly, and then she will let you know if it's happening this afternoon, because they're going to make a call about 3 o'clock, okay? Now let's join Molly in rising and embody her spirit. We're going to sing our first hymn, This Little Light of Mine. Little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Friends, as usual, let us remain standing as Caleb and Kaya come forward to light our chalice, and we say together our affirmation. Both are expressions of our life and our faith here in this community. Friends, let us say together, love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love. Thank you. Please be seated.
Is this on? Okay. Could we have all of our younger ones come up to the front? That's kids, older, youth. If you're here, I need your help too. I'm looking specifically at Hannah Zarin. Need your help. Thank you. Yeah, come on. You too. Yeah, you too. Okay, awesome.
So first, we are going to learn a little song today that we're going to sing later in the service. And Sarah, can you lead us in learning a new song?
Good thing I happen to be down here.
Oh, good thing.
Hey, we're going to learn a song called Lead with Love, and I hope everybody's going to help learning the song. Can we get like a B? So it starts like this. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Can you guys sing that? You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Excellent. And then you say, and lead with love.
And lead with love.
Let's do that whole thing. Ready? You
Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
And then the exciting part, you go, put one foot in front of the other. So can you do the high one? It goes,
Put one foot in front of the other
goes down, and lead with love.
and lead with love.
Excellent. You just learned pretty much the whole thing. Cool. Let's try to put the whole thing together and see how it goes. Ready? You
Gotta
gotta
put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
You gotta put
One foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
That's it. The rest of the song is just you repeat exactly what I say right back at me. And that's how the song goes. So if I say, don't give up hope, you say,
Don't give up hope.
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving
Now we
on.
together. You gotta
Put
put
one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
You gotta put
One foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path is there.
The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
I know you're scared.
I know you're scared,
I'm scared too.
and I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am,
Right
Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
Wow, you guys did amazing. Woohoo!
So, can anyone tell me what holiday is tomorrow?
What is it?
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And does anyone know why we have a holiday for him? What are we celebrating him for? What did he do?
Anyone? Yeah.
Brown people weren't allowed to go to the same school as white people, so we stopped that.
Yeah, black and brown people didn't have the same rights, right?
Yeah, they couldn't go to the same schools or drink from the same water fountain or swim in the same pools. They didn't have the same rights. And he, Martin Luther King Jr., was a black man, and he was fighting for the equal rights of other black people in this country, to end racism and to end laws of discrimination that treated black people and white people differently. And so we are remembering him tomorrow in part because despite everything that Dr. King did, this is still a problem in this country. Does anyone remember, I might be too young, does anyone remember a few years ago, there were big protests called for Black Lives Matter? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, you were in one? Yeah.
And those protests were largely following in the example of Martin Luther King Jr. to fight for the equal treatment of black people. So this struggle is still ongoing today.
Yeah. So it sounds like some of us have maybe been to a protest before. Can I have a show of hands? Who's ever been to a protest? Okay, look around. Can you look behind you? Wow, we're a very active community. So I want to ask our younger folks, if you've been to a protest, what was it like? Do you want to tell us? Maybe? Yeah, Marina, what was that like?
A bunch of people with signs fighting for something they believe in.
Oh, wow, you're leading right into my point. Anyone else? What is it? Anyone else been to a protest over here? Yeah.
Probably people chanting something.
Yes, exactly. People chanting. So people had signs, right? Sometimes they're just posters, sometimes they're on sticks. Some people have flags, right? People are chanting or maybe even singing. There are a lot of popular protest songs and chants that people sing. So they're all about something that is really important to them. Some people have something they really want to say, just like Martin Luther King Jr. did. So up here we can see some examples of signs, and we especially wanted to highlight some pictures of kids at protests. We can go to the next one too. Yeah, so kids have a lot of important things to say, right? So we go to protest when we can't be silent about something, right? And we need it to change. We can look at the next one too, see what some kids are saying, or maybe what people in our own community are saying. Oh, look at that, who's that? I'm wondering, what are some things that are really important to you? What are some things that maybe you really want to tell the world, maybe something that you want to change? And you can have some time to think about it, but if there's something that pops into your head now, if you want to share, Hannah, I'm going to pick on you. Is there a cause that is really important to you? Can you tell us?
Well, right now there's a lot of ICE raids going on across the country, and so I recently went to a protest for one of those.
Yes, immigration justice. Yes, immigration justice is really important to, I'd say, all of us. A lot of people in this room, we're really working hard about that. So for today, we're going to be making some signs about things that are really important to us. So think about something that's so important to you, you really want to tell us all about it, and we want to hear your voice through these signs.
You can write, you can draw if you don't want to write or don't know how to write. You can scribble even. We will see your voice through that scribble. And we'll have a chance to do a little march from the back of the sanctuary to see all the protest signs you've made. So we're going to hand out the paper and the crayons, but we also want adults to make them too, because we're all gonna hold them up. So I can hand some out and they'll be in the back of the church as well. Okay, and now we're going to grab supplies and go back to our seats.
Thank you all so much. Oh, before you go, grab some crayons and some paper to make signs back in your seat. And grown-ups, if you want to make signs for something that you care about, to hold them up at the end of the service, Stasia will be coming around handing out paper and crayons. Please take them. We would love to see your thoughts, what's on your heart today. I have to admit, I struggled with what to write today. There is so much happening in this world that seems to line up so horribly perfectly with what was happening around Dr. Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. How could I see the murder of Renee Good and not think of Kent State? How can I see what is happening on our streets and not think of Alabama? And so I say all this to say that I wrote and rewrote this sermon a few times this week. In the book, The Lord of the Rings, amidst war and strife and a rising tyrant which threatens to overtake all the free peoples, Frodo, who is yet but a small hobbit, has the responsibility to destroy the one ring of all evil, and Frodo tells the wizard Gandalf, "I wish it need not have happened in my time." "So do I," says Gandalf. "And so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." So tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as we just said, and he is remembered as a civil rights leader and an advocate for a peaceful revolution in this country, to overturn racism and legal discrimination. And not just to overturn it, but to address it and to heal it. To heal and address those centuries of harm that this country has inflicted on Black people, but also on all colored people, on LGBTQIA people, on immigrants, on women, on so many. And in his famous "I Have a Dream" speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, that march, I sometimes forget, that it was not just about that freedom, it was also a march for economic inequality, to address economic inequality. And he also spoke out against the Vietnam War because he understood that the ways that economic inequality affects the poor in this country are deeply connected with his fight. He spoke out against the Vietnam War because he understood that the freedom of African Americans in this nation and the ways that we export unjust systems around the world come back into this country. And the way that we fuel unjust systems in this country get exported around the world. And so here we are today with unjust systems, with secret police that seem to lack accountability. Here we are, and I don't know about you, I have to shake the newspaper or the TV sometimes, screaming, "Do something," right? Do you ever feel that? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a specific cause, but he understood that that cause was deeply connected to all the systems, all the unjust systems around the world, the ecology of injustice in this nation. And so my question to you is not only how will you lead by love, but what will your cause be? There are so many causes to choose from these days. Will it be immigration, the upcoming Justice Forum on the 24th? Sign up now. Will it be childhood hunger, or economic inequality, or racial discrimination, or LGBTQIA rights, women's rights, the environment? The list goes on. You have heard me up here talk before about that world that we want to build. One that is free and just and equitable. And the truth is that all of those issues are deeply intertwined. They're all deeply intertwined within ourselves, aren't they? Choose your cause, and you'll be seeing something about yourself. When I was growing up, I was deeply connected with the environment, and I've spoken before about how I became involved in climate action, and I got involved in environmental action. And I did that because I went to those places to heal my own wounds. I went backpacking in the mountains because I needed to go backpacking in the mountains. I needed the silence and solace of nature, of the woods, in order to address something inside myself. And so by starting to take that action to protect those natural green places, it was not only an act of love for the world, it was an act of love for myself. What cause will you choose? What does it say about the things that you love and about what you love in yourself? Do you love community? If you love community, will you fight for the community that is under attack right now? Do you love your identity? The people you love, the relationships that seem not mainstream, then will you fight for LGBTQIA rights? If you struggle with your own identity, if you can learn to love that struggle, will you fight for trans rights? It took me a long time to realize that when I was fighting to protect the environment, that thing I loved within myself, I was not just fighting for the environment. I was fighting for my own survival. The causes we take up because they help not only our world survive, they help us survive, don't they? You feel me? And it can seem like there is so much to do. I listed just a few of the causes that we could take up. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the need in this world? I do. It can feel like if I take up any one thing, I am not taking up the rest. If I fight for the environment, am I ignoring immigration? If I take up immigration, and am I ignoring trans rights? I don't think so. Because it took me a long time to realize that protecting the environment also meant protecting people. That fighting for clean water and clean air was not just for the birds. That was deeply connected to people all around the world, to healthcare, to economic inequality. Fighting for a better world that isn't affected by climate change also means fighting for those who are most affected by climate change. That means the poor. That means people of color. That means me. A message that I take from Dr. King today is that by loving ourselves, we find our cause to take up. Choose your cause. Love yourself. What will your cause be? Amen. Please rise and body your spirit for our second hymn, number 1017. We are building a new way.
Friends, have a seat together. As we're asking ourselves how we love ourselves, let's take a moment here just to love ourselves with some stillness and some meditation and some prayer together. Here in this month of January in 2026, we begin our time of prayer together with our prayer hymn, Spirit of Life. The words are on our screens for us. Here in our gathered community, we carry with us across our threshold our prayers for loved ones, the prayers for the world in which we are living that feels beautiful and broken all at the same time, and the gratitude that so often go unspoken. In a moment, I'll invite us to carry one of our prayers and place it into some water if you'd like to do that. But first, we join our own Gail in a prayer for Jordan, who is still needing his body to find health. From Connie Seaman, who we welcomed as a new member last Sunday, for prayers and support for upcoming medical tests and all the uncertainty and fear that that brings. This from Abby for her dad, John, who also joined our community last Sunday for his 85th birthday last week, still a young man. And this from Ojkan for the people in Iran that are being held hostage by the government. For all these places in Iran that are trying to negotiate their respective interests in the region, and all the people there. I sometimes think of the prayers that I have as like these leaden weights in me for the people in particular that I'm worried about, and the things that I'm feeling that I'm overwhelmed by, and they can feel like stones, and it's really good to just sort of let them drop, isn't it? So as Dan plays a little bit of music, I invite us to think of a person or an issue that we're just feeling leaden by, and to pick up one of these beautiful little blue stones and just to put it into the bowl of water. I invite us to do that now. We also had a prayer from Barb Fritz, whose mother needs surgery this week. And friends, for all those that we placed in this bowl of water, let us hold a moment of stillness together. Love remains and light remains. Marina, please light our final candle for us and let us say together, amen.
Every week, we collect an offering and we give it all away to support an organization that lives out our values of love, service, justice, and peace. We are able to give 100% of our offering away thanks to your pledges to our church, which keep us going. This week, we're collecting an offering for Black Mamas Matter Alliance. Black Mamas Matter Alliance works to advance Black maternal health, rights, and justice. According to the CDC, the pregnancy and childbirth-related mortality rate is over 3 times higher for Black mothers compared to white mothers. That is over 50 deaths per 100,000 lives births compared to 15. We know that racism and white supremacy culture has real and life-threatening or life-ending consequences. We mourn the Black women who we have lost due to discrimination in the healthcare system and social inequity. Most recently in the public eye, Dr. Janelle Green Smith, who died in childbirth after dedicating her life's work as a midwife to this cause. We remember her. In their own words, the Black Mamas Matter Alliance aims to change policy, shift culture, cultivate research, and advance care for Black mothers. Let us support this important and necessary cause today through the generosity of our loving community. You can make an offering by scanning the QR code on our screens or in your pews, or by giving cash or check as the baskets come around. Thank you so much for supporting this cause.
Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all of the people living on the earth, ties of hope and love, kindness and siblinghood. That we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. And we are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound and we are bound. There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
So that we can see.
And now,
just a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna stand it on up.
Stand it on up.
Stand it on up, Lord.
Yet now.
Wanna walk it on down.
Gonna shed a little light.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Don't see no light, no dollar bill.
Don't give me no light from a TV screen.
No, no, no.
When I open my eyes, I wanna drink my fill from the well on the hill. Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
So that we can see.
Oh yeah.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna stand it on up.
Stand it on up.
Stand it on up, oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
Wanna walk it on down.
Gonna shed a little light,
shed
oh
a little light, Lord.
There's a clenching like the clenching of a fist. There's a hunger in the center of a chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest. Oh, let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all of the people living on the earth, ties of hope and love, of kindness and siblinghood.
So what will your cause be? I mentioned up front that I struggled a little bit with writing the homilies this week, and one reason for that is that I already know so many of you have picked a cause. I know that we have a wonderful sanctuary teams, LGBTQIA plus sanctuary team, the immigration sanctuary team that are doing important things. I know that you are showing up for protests. Like the one last week where I wasn't here, I heard people came last minute with signs to stand out in the street. I know that so many of us are taking on some of this struggle. I also know that some of us are taking on a lot of the struggle. Because it's a lot, right? It feels like there's so much to do, and so surely we must take it all on. But unfortunately, we can't save the world all on our own, can we? We can try. I've tried. It hasn't worked yet. Because in the end, the world doesn't actually need us to take on everything. It needs us to take on that one cause. It needs us to love ourselves enough to take up that cause and love ourselves enough to know when to put it down, know when to take a rest. And it feels a little weird to be talking about the necessity of rest on Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. Because certainly they did not rest. They marched to Washington. And there are times when that is what we need to do. But I also know that so many in here are asked not only to take up the cause, but to do so much in our lives. That on top of the political reality and on top of all the activist things we're asked to do, we're also asked to care for aging parents and children. We're asked to take up care for each other, to deal with mental illness, with death and bereavement and grief. We're asked to attend PTA meetings and soccer lessons and shovel the sidewalk and make sure that dinner is healthy and don't feed your kids that's not healthy. We are asked to do so much in this world, and now there's so much more to do on top of that. I think about the queer Black womanist Audre Lorde when she said, "Self-care is not selfish. It is an act of survival and political warfare." Political warfare. Because the reality is that the systems in place that are causing so much harm, that we are trying to fight, are trying to make us tired. Because if we're tired, we won't take up that cause. If we're tired, we will have less love for ourselves and for others. I've felt that, right? When we're tired, how much easier it is to get angry and upset and sad. When my littlest one is crying and dinner is late and the oldest one needs attention and the dog is barking, I am not my best self, right? And the same goes for when we turn on the news and we see all those headlines flooding in. Or when we scroll on the phone and we see all that is happening. It's overwhelming. We are not our best self. We need to survive. We need an act of political warfare. And sometimes that means rest. The revolution needs you to rest. And I know that this is not only true if you were able to put something down. I know that that's not always possible for all of us, but that is the world that I'm fighting for. It's the world that I want us to fight for. The world in which we can put something down and trust that someone else will pick it up.